Shesterinen and Marcus Bonnick on the other side of things. It is a lot of the same. If you have been tuning into the Lord's matchups here this year, Shane Taylor Douglas, Angelos Arsonis, Kansky Simon, Kolodi Kashala, and Adam Hosseini. Bonnick brings it up over half court for the Seneca Sing to start the game. Bonnick driving on Hosseini. Hosseini with the rebound. It'll be Sarsonis. Shane Taylor Douglas coming in off a productive game against the Loyalist Lancers. It'll be over and back as it is off of the hand of a Shane Taylor Douglas.
A bit of a bad break there for Kansky Simon. Got that pass a little too far out of his reach, so had to reach back, and as a result, it's an over and back call.
And a three-point shot from Shesternin.
Well, somebody's pumped.
I mean, quite a look he's got on him, sporting the Movember stash.
Oh, he knows what month it is.
No, he doesn't look too bad.
Up in Movember.
Taylor Douglas driving baseline and is cut off as Jaden Anderson is there.
Yeah, Lords are going to have a tough challenge ahead of them tonight. As high-flying as this offense has been, Seneca Sting, what's carrying them to their good record right now is their strong defense. They have a really balanced offensive scoring touch. They don't score a lot, but their defense is their top strength of their game. They have not had a game this year where they've allowed over 80 points in any of their 4 games this year as yet.
Chesterton with the rebound to go along with the three-pointer to start the game. And that statistic at odds with what the Lords are trying to do, averaging over 95 points a game here in the OCAA throughout their first 4 games.
Well, if you're the Lords, you know you have high-powered offense. So, again, they're going to be tested tonight. But if you keep doing what you've been doing, which has been moving the ball and supporting each other throughout these first few games, then you can stand a chance against a tough Seneca team.
Shot no good by O'Shane Taylor Douglas. And ball will stay with the Lords. I believe Bonnick was the one who got his hand on it last. Ball into the paint for Simon. Tipped over by Sarsonis. Hosseini drives into the paint and almost like LeBron finishing off the Raptors shot attempt, and not quite the same result.
Maybe Hosseini could have taken a shot right there up top. He opted to cut to the paint, looking for an easy 2, but time was short on the shot clock for that.
As the Sting will move the ball around the perimeter. Anderson, it's a three-point shot, no good. Rebound, Shesternin. So Anderson was the one who put up the shot.
The Lords defense has been off to a strong start themselves, just the 1 3-pointer allowed. But good job by the Lords boxing out so far. Keep that up.
Bonnick, sneaky athletic, has some handles to him as well. Shesternin gets the ball in a great spot, and some big-to-big passing from Shesternin and Bonnick. Taylor Douglas thinks about bringing it into the paint, pulls it back out, in, around, and out. Lords struggling for the first 2 minutes.
Couple of tough breaks.
5-0 run for the Seneca Sting. Bonnick, basically the center for this Sting offense.
And the foul. Well, that's why you don't take anybody for granted.
Yeah, I mean,
got some handles to him.
Yeah, he's got some handles to him. A very, like, a dynamic player. Like I said, the big-to-big action with Shesternin has really been active tonight for for the Sting. 7-0 run, looking to make it 8-0 run here is Bonnick at the line, and does. Thought there might be a timeout coming from Desmond Rowley, but opts to not.
You'd have to think there's one coming shortly if the Lords continue to struggle like this.
Sarsonis, and that has been his shot throughout this season. Hosseini into the crowd and is saved back to the Sting. Anderson. Shesternen and firm three off the front of the rim. And Jaden Anderson wants to let it roll out and get the side out of bounds. And a couple of substitutions coming on as we see Amani Mighty, interesting player for the Sting. Played last season with the United Scholastic Academy and making it all the way to the OSBA finals here down the hall at the Ontario Tech Gym. Bonnick driving on Hosseini. Anderson puts up a three, no good, as the shot clock expired.
Well, if you're the Lords, things haven't been going your way so far in these first 4 minutes, and you just got to find a way to make that ball move, make the defense move by moving that ball quickly.
Simon. Sarsonis. That's a 4-point scoreless drought for the Lords, and it has been ended as Sarsonis gets into the paint and picks up 2 points. 8-2, Seneca lead. Mighty. Quick twitch player kicks it out. Keeps the ball in. Going the other way with it. And a slam dunk on the other end as Kashala rocks the rim.
That's how you do it. Defense to offense. Good read by Oshala. Stealing that ball to one end and charges the other way for a big 2 points. Another one.
Sarsonis finds his big Simon running in transition, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game.
And instead of seeing the Lords call a timeout, we'll see Seneca do just that after a 6-0 run.
And Seneca looked like they were going to take a commanding lead, and offensively really didn't pull away as much as they could have in that 4-minute scoreless drought for the Lords.
No, they had a good start the first 4 minutes, the Seneca Sting have. Again, we've seen how strong that defense could be in the first 4 minutes of this game, how strong they could be boxing out. But the Lords, good comeback. They got a good defensive breaks, good defensive stops, and then some an on-man rush, a couple of breaks, and leading to a 6-0 run eventually. So if you're Durham, you have you can't just rely on the rush. You have to also find a way to cycle that ball down as well, and I think that's what Desmond Rowley will be talking about in this timeout as well.
It's going to be a clash of styles, as we have already mentioned. Seneca hanging their hat on defense, and Durham really doing the opposite, hanging their hat on offense, looking to score 100 points a game. We'll see who's able to execute their game plan throughout the rest of this. But right now, it's a 2-point lead for Seneca, 8-6 halfway through the first quarter.
Pretty disciplined team, too, so far, Seneca, the first half. No fouls as yet. Team fouls in this quarter.
Japril Morgan will come in for Seneca. It looks like Mighty will head down to play the 5. Sarsonis picks up the contact, shields it, and isn't able to pick up the finish.
Some more good defense. That's been a strength so far for the Lords, not just relying on that offense, but getting some steals as well on the other end.
Bonnick gets cut off quickly from good rotation from Simon. Open in the other corner is Anderson. Jordan Anderson this time.
Well, maybe Seneca's offense is one of their big strengths. It's already the third 3-point shot they've hit in this quarter.
The 3-and-D team has Hosseini drives in what is fouled on the floor. So that'll be Seneca's first team foul. Bonnick heads off. And coming back in, we will see Elijah Green and RJ Thomas.
On the sidelines for the Lords, of course, we saw Latrell Olamov get injured his last time, so he won't be available tonight with an ankle injury. So Lords are down a man tonight.
And you can see him in the boot down there on the bench.
Watching on the sidelines, number one fan tonight.
Morgan for three, and leaves it short. Mighty with the rebound. Hanna, who has been the leading scorer for the Seneca team off the bench, and is coming off a 20-point performance in a 86-74 win against Georgian. Sarsonis, backdoor cut off glass, and it's good. 11-8.
That's that silky smoothness we were expecting from Angelo Sarsonis. Didn't see a lot of it the last time the Lords were here. Only limited to 15 points, but showing off some good signs tonight.
Mighty gets the rebound, puts it back up, no good. And Taylor Douglas in a collision at midcourt. So now it is 2 team fouls apiece.
There goes Sarsonis for a little break. Isaiah Barton's coming in.
We'll see Fioti Mabonza come back in. Shane Taylor Douglas kicks it out. Hosseini for three. And that's his spot. Unable to hit it, but can't give him too many of those. Mahana. Mighty driving baseline. No good. Gets the rebound off of the rebound shot. Hosseini working in transition. No good. But he'll shoot two. Dramatic call from the referee there. I was like, he's going to call a charge. And
that could have gone either way, to be honest. I didn't think the Seneca defender had his feet planted yet, but Adam Hosseini, the male athlete of the week, is in a little bit of trouble here.
A bit of a tough fall, but big guy, he'll walk it off. But yeah, I wasn't sure where that was going. I can't argue that if that's a charge. I also can't argue it if it's a block. It's a true 50-50.
Really was. Could have gone either way, like I said, but Hosseini, 35 points his last game, 64 in his last two. Only getting his first of this game at the free throw line with 2:29 left in this first quarter. Not the best start he's wanted, but again, against tough defense like this, you got to make adjustments. You gotta do what you got to do as the game goes on and move on from there. These first 2 points hopefully should get him going.
We're going to see Mark Stoop check into the game. I believe this is one of his first minutes of the season. Stoop was the contributor to the team last year. Stoop working in transition. Oh, and almost a parade of dunks.
A little too strong on that dunk that time.
And not meant to be. Stoop in the lane with some solid defense, and that's what you can expect from Stoop. Stoop with some hops there, too. I didn't know he had the dunk in his game. It's a 1-point lead for Seneca. Durham has clawed their way back into it after being in the hole early. And Sarsonis was looking to check in quickly, is unable to get there in time. RJ Thomas will head to the line as he picks up the bump. And Sarsonis will check in now, and Hosseini will check out.
Two shots for Seneca. This jersey number 9, Thomas.
And Thomas misses the first. Each team with about 3 team fouls apiece, so both 2 fouls away from being in the bonus. May or may not come into play with the final 2 minutes of the quarter. And some defensive miscues for Seneca. Stoop gets down low and takes advantage of it.
Good read by O'Shane Taylor-Douglas, seeing that miscommunication on D. And Stoop left all alone, puts that one in.
What a pass to Mighty, and he bobbles it out of bounds.
Lords have been getting some stops here after those first 4 minutes, after that dreadful start. And it's gotten them back in this game here. See what defense can do for a team?
Yeah. Mabanza brings it in. Barton thought about lining up a 3 spin move into the paint. And will pick up the foul in exchange. That's the 4th team foul this quarter for Seneca. Again, about 1:30 left, may or may not come into play. Something to note is Adam Hosseini receiving a bit of athletic treatment on the back end of the bench there. Looks like on his shoulder.
Yeah. It'll be a tough break if the Lords lost 10, one of their better 3-point shooters in the team. As I said, hot weapon coming into this game, but struggling early on. We'll see if whatever's bugging him has something to do with this sluggish start.
Shot no good from the perimeter as Thomas puts it up. Hosseini averaging 26 points a game, 3rd best in the OCAA. Would definitely be a huge loss. So we'll monitor that situation. Shane Taylor-Douglas and Marcus Bonnick with some solid defense, takes a swipe at it and knocks it off of the shin of O'Shane Taylor-Douglas.
Tried to get the call, couldn't go his way. He thought it was knocked out of bounds, but off the Seneca player, but
mid-range shot off the front of the rim by Anderson. Taylor-Douglas thought about pulling it to Mabanza. Sarsonis will, and gets a lot of contact underneath the basket. A couple players could pick that up for Seneca.
A couple of good reads in the paint. We saw Shane Taylor-Douglas with a couple good reads, and Sarsonis with a nice little read to find Mabanza down in the paint, and he'll go to the line and shoot for 2.
So Stefari Black picks up the foul, and Mabanza with his first points of the night. And 33.1 seconds remain, and really flipping the script here has Durham 15-12 after starting scoreless through the first 5 minutes.
And it looks like they're going to get the ball back and try to add to this lead late in the quarter.
Sarsonis inbounds it to Shane Taylor-Douglas. Hits the rim, so shot clock resets. Mabanza for 3! And he drills it.
Good recovery. Lords haven't been shooting the ball well in this quarter, but they get a break there.
18-12. Cunningham kicks it out to Bonnick, looking for a 3-point response, and he gets it as the clock ticks down. 18-15 here at the end of the first quarter. Well, Ryan, a lot of thoughts and a lot of interesting talking points coming out of that. Like we said, a scoreless start for Durham, the first 4 minutes. How'd they turn things around?
Definitely, the defense definitely had a big part to play with that. 8 points for the Lords off turnovers forced by the Seneca Sting. And because of that defense, it's allowed the offense to get a scoring touchback. They were able to get a couple shots late in the quarter there. They were able to find their men in the paint. So Durham, good adjustments, and we'll see how the Seneca Seneca Sting react to those adjustments made by Durham and see if they can get back in this game themselves.
So here's a fun stat for the people at home if you're not following along on the OCAA.com score sheet. Angelo Sarsonis, 4 points. Fioti Mabanza, 4 points. Isaiah Barton, 2 points. Kansky Simon, 2 points. Clody Kashala, 2 points. Mark Stoop, 2 points. Adam Hussaini, 2 points. And the only player to check in for the Durham Lords to not score a point in that first quarter was O'Shane Taylor Douglas. So a good team performance to turn things around. On the other side of things, Marcus Bonnick has been an issue. 6 points for Seneca, along with 3 assists, and Shesternen with 5 points and 3 rebounds to go with it as well. So we'll see Tyrone Cunningham, Jaden Anderson, Tafari Black, Marcus Bonnick, and Jordan Anderson for Seneca. We'll see Mabanza, Stoop, O'Shane Taylor Douglas, Sarsonis, and Barton come out for the Lords. Ball crowded into the corner. 2 Seneca players, and they get out of it. Headed to the line as Tyrone Cunningham off of a good drive.
Lords did a good job crushing the ball carrier. I believe that was Jaden Anderson, though, who made the nice read to find Cunningham cutting to the paint, cutting to the rim, I should say, and he's going to get a chance to shoot for 2.
This is the first, and we'll see Adam Hussaini come on in. So that's good to see as he, as we mentioned, received some medical attention on his shoulder earlier in the game.
It would be big to get him back, and it would be even bigger if Hussaini could get his offensive game back.
Stoop. Shane Taylor Douglas, all sorts of room out at the 3-point line, opts to bring it in. Off the glass and good, and that has been a huge part of his game this season.
And there you go, now O'Shane Taylor Douglas is on the board.
So all players who have checked in for the Lords have officially picked up at least 2 points. Sarsonis drives in, uses a Stoop screen, kicks it out to Barton. It's another screen, a pick and roll to Stoop. 3 players there for it as the ball goes sky high. Stoop turns around and the shot hit the rim, so it will be a new shot clock. No shot clock violation. Bonnick brings it up. Mabanza, and it's a double team on the baseline. Interesting adjustment there for the Lords. Mabanza, and another double team coming for Sarsonis.
Kind of surprised we didn't see an offensive foul there.
Yeah, and Sarsonis may have just had his feet moving a little bit towards the back end of that, but Bonnick now drawing the double team on drives. Shot goes in and out. Anderson. Bonnick out at the 3-point line, calling for a screen. Kicks it out. Cunningham for 3, no good. And Mabanza unable to collect the rebound as Black puts it back for 2 and then cuts it to a 1-point lead. Durham 20-19. So we'll see Shesternen come in for Seneca. Looks like Tyrone Cunningham will be headed out.
We'll see Adam Hosseini come back in, which has been much needed for the Lords. Not a great start to this second quarter either.
And Kansky Simon as well. Taylor Douglas. The mid-range Jimmy and too strong.
Lords are forcing a couple of shots lately on these last couple of drives. Not moving the ball quickly enough, not moving it and supporting each other enough, taking too many off-balance shots.
Anderson drives off the screen, but we'll kick it back out. Jaden Anderson. And the shot clock winding down, and it's a good three-pointer.
Tough shot.
22-20. Hosseini backdoor cut, and the tough break is he's unable to convert.
Just a little bit too strong on that layup there.
Adam Hosseini with just 2 points on the night really hasn't been contributing the way that he normally has for the Lords. Hasn't looked quite right.
Nice block.
Stoop. Hosseini back to Kansky and Chesterton and swipes it away. It's a three-point shot from Jaden Anderson. Hosseini fakes the pass, takes it in, and it'll be a charge.
Adam Hosseini, things just not going his way right now. We saw the layup that he missed, and then the pass got picked off, and then takes an offensive foul. But the Lords desperately needed some points.
It feels like he's forcing things a little bit right now.
Really forcing things. Again, I'm not sure if the shoulder has anything to do with it, but those last two plays, I definitely think he was trying to do a little bit too much.
Also switching on Bonnick as well. Shane Taylor Douglas with some great D. Sarsonis, three-point shot, and it's pure all net.
Lords have needed that, a big three-point shot. If one guy's not going, another guy is, and that's Angelo Sarsonis, up to 7 points now.
Stoop pokes it away, but it is a reach-in foul. Some jawing there between Stoop and Chesterton as well.
More substitutions for Durham, it looks like.
And Barton comes on as well as Kashala.
Keeping an eye on Adam Hosseini here. He's a little frustrated. Headed back to the bench as you would expect.
And immediately hops on the bike. Chesterton and saves it, and he'll find Simon, who almost travels with it. On the other end of things is O'Shane Taylor Douglas. Misses the wide open layup, gets the rebound, puts the shot back up, gets the rebound again, and third time's a charm as he finally converts on it.
Good effort by O'Shane Taylor Douglas. Could not be stopped on that drive. Kept following up, never gave up on the play. And another big couple of points on the board for Durham.
So 25-22 as the lead shifting back and forth here. Highly entertaining game. Bonnick for three, in and out. You just never know what Bonnick's going to do when he has the ball.
Really unpredictable player. Again, never underestimate anybody.
Sarsonis for three, and it's back-to-back threes for the lead guard of the Lords. (28-22). Black to the baseline. Jordan Anderson pounding the rock out to Bonnick. Gets the ball back out at the three-point range, and good job to stay on their feet there from O'Shane Taylor Douglas. Three-point shot from Bonnick, no good, and Kashala will just let that go out of bounds.
Another few a couple of substitutions for the Seneca Sting as they look to get back in this game.
Mighty comes on as well as Ohana, and I believe we have a timeout called here. Timeout called by the Lord. So what do you make of this second quarter here, Ryan?
Started off shaky once again for the Durham Lords, but they made some big adjustments, got some big shots, in particular from Angelo Sarsonis, 2 back-to-back threes. So Durham, again, rough start, but they've managed to adjust, and again, the Seneca Sting will have to be forced to make some more adjustments in order to get their offensive game going. Again, I said they're not great offensively. I believe it was 86 points was their highest they've scored in a game. That was just their last game against the Georgian Grizzlies. So Seneca, they got to get the offensive flow going, not just relying on the defense, which has been big for them this year, and against a tough offense of the Durham Lords.
Angelo Sarsonis with 10 points, but one of the other things that's kind of been fun to watch as Shane Taylor Douglas has struggled from the field tonight, 2 of 8, but has found ways to contribute outside of offense with 4 points, but has 3 assists and 6 rebounds. But like 3 of them came on that last possession, battling down low to get the bucket, and it has really paid off for the Lords, who are leading 28-22 with just under 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, in particular, the defense has been another key strength for the Lords tonight. I mentioned they got some big points off from turnovers.
Sarsonis cuts in, and it's a travel as he falls to the ground. Another good turnout here for the Lords. A lot of support coming for the volleyball team and the basketball teams here as we head into the winter portions of this season and sport to move indoors. Always good to see as a successful fall season for the rugby and just about a successful season for the women's soccer team as well.
Lots of great athletes in the Lords, and all sorts of great teams doing well. Rugby team just won. Both rugby teams actually just coming off some titles, so good for them.
Yep. Rugby really turning into a DC Lord sport. Dominated since they came into the OCAA. Into the paint is Barton with a tough finish.
Shane Taylor Douglas has been on top of his passing tonight. I've noticed he's had a great couple of reads going into the paint, seeing a gap that the Seneca Sting defense has allowed.
Anderson for 3, and it's wide open, all net. 5-point lead for Durham off of that. 30-25. 2:40 remains. Shane Taylor Douglas gets the ball poked away from Ohana. Jaden sends it back to Jordan for 3. Now looking for back-to-back Anderson threes, not meant to be. Sarsonis with to Simon. Barton comes off a screen on the far side. Simons opts to bring it in and picks up the foul. Sometimes you'll see Simon doing a lot of his damage down low, getting rebounds and putbacks and pick and roll situations. Not often you see him take it out to the perimeter and then opt to make a dribble move to get it down low.
Well, he's on the score sheet tonight for the first time. It's one of the first of 2.
Doesn't make the second. Leading scorer for Seneca is still quiet here tonight. Ohana averaging 17 points on the season, coming off a 20-point contribution off the bench in the last game.
Lord's caught a break there. I didn't think Jordan Anderson really clipped Shane Taylor Douglas that much, but Durham will get the benefit of the call, get the ball back.
Sarsonis hands it off to Shane Taylor Douglas. Off glass, tough finish from Simons.
Good drive by Simon, and again, another great read. O'Shane Taylor Douglas finding his man in the paint.
Kansky Simon has really been a contributing factor over his past few minutes, and tough defense there as well, and knocks it loose from a rebound from Mighty. Taylor Douglas kicks it out. Sarsonis for three off the front of the rim. A minute 5 remains, 33-25. Ohana driving it in, dumps it off to Anderson, and that would be a turnover. Lord's ball.
Lords are opening things up a little bit. They've been getting some stops on D and some much needed points at the other end. So that's definitely been a key factor for Durham in the back half of this quarter.
Simon over to Barton. Kashala driving baseline, tries to use the rim as protection, and Black still gets his hand up in there. The ball's tied up on the back end of things as Mighty gets a grip on it. Ball will stay with the Lord. Bonnick comes back in, the leading scorer for Seneca. 8 points on the night, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 of 3 from deep. There's a bit of, it's a turnover for the Lords off of a shot clock violation, but Bonnick.
Good defense staying on Taylor Douglas, not allowing him to get a shot off in time.
I think there's a bit of confusion about what the call was there. Lords feel like Bonnick reached in and definitely had a solid grip, but players being sent back to their benches. And the referees will, it'll be Seneca Sting who had called the timeout. So a bit of confusion into the timeout gives the referees a little bit of time to figure out what they're calling. It seems like they're sticking with the Seneca side out situation. Coming down the end of the half here, what do you think either team needs to be talking about in there?
Well, you know what? If you are Jay McNeely, head coach of the Seneca Sting, I think you had to call that timeout regardless. Things are opening up for Durham a little bit because of their defense to offense transition. Seneca unable to get some points. Some big points in the second quarter, the back half of the second quarter, and it's cost them as well. Defense unable to hold. So the Lords have opened things up a little bit with an 8-point lead.
So 33-25, and we'll quickly find out what the referees have decided their call is. Once again, it looks like it's going to be Seneca side out off of a shot clock violation. Jaden Anderson brings it up over half for Seneca. We'll hand off to Jordan. Black surveying the court and briefly had Bonnick available, drives it himself. Some good defense from Kashala, and Bonnick tips it out to the three-point land for an Anderson three. 33-28, 5 seconds left. Shot has to go up in a hurry and is blocked as we head into halftime. 33-28, Durham. Angelo Sarsonis leading all scorers with 10 points and shooting 2 of 4 from deep. Kansky Simon behind him with 5 points, 4 rebounds, and O'Shane Taylor Douglas stuffing the stat sheet with 4 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds.
It's It's certainly been a defensive type of game, I'll say that. Everybody might expect the offensive onslaught from the Durham Lords like they've been showing in their first 5 games, but Seneca keeping themselves in it with some tight defense. They certainly tighten up towards those final 30 seconds of the quarter. And for Durham, you've done well in the second quarter and late in the first quarter as well, coming up with some big points off turnovers. Defense has hung in there as well. So some things would have to be addressed, like the Lord's shooting game throughout the second half going forward. But we'll see if Durham can get some more offense going to hold on and take this one.
All right, and do not go anywhere. We'll take a quick 14-minute break and be back here for the second half. Campus Recreation and Wellness Center as the Durham Lords lead 33-26 here, heading in to the second half. Angelo Sarsonis leading all scorers with 10 points, and on the other side of things, Jordan Anderson with 9 and Marcus Bonnick with 8. And the big story from the first half, both of the team's leading scorers held to almost nothing is Hosseini with 2 points and Jake Ohana with a goose egg still in the scoring category.
Well, I mentioned earlier about Adam Hosseini in particular. As you go through this game, you have to find a way to adjust to a good defense like Seneca's and maybe hope for success down the line.
Hosseini drives in and picks up 2.
Plus the foul.
Plus the foul. So 3-point play opportunity.
Another call that, to me, Sean, could have gone both ways as Hosseini took the charge. Not sure if the Seneca defender had his feet planted or not, but judging by the call, I guess not.
Yeah, that one took me a second too, where I hung on to the call. I was like, I don't know which way that's going, but in favor of the Lords, 36-28.
Well, there you go for Adam Hosseini, though. 3 quick points to start this quarter. Sure they're off free throws, but maybe that can get him going a little bit, get a little spark in his chest.
Seeing the ball go through the hoops, never a bad thing, and 3-point opportunity for Anderson is not meant to be. Sarsonis to Hosseini, and not meant to be there either as the ball goes in and off of the rim. As we see Jaden Anderson slide into the home of the Lord sign. A little dramatic flair.
Angelo Sarsonis helping him back up as well.
So Jaden Anderson heading to the line. And makes the first.
And a couple big plays to end off the second quarter of the first half, Jaden Anderson. Big 3-point shot and then a big defensive play towards the end, preventing Shane Taylor Douglas from getting a shot away, which could have gone in either way, but
Sarsonis brings it up over half and hands it off to O'Shane Taylor Douglas, who has been a stat stick here tonight. And a bit of miscommunication, a couple players there for the Lords, and neither of them able to get to it, but it's poked out of bounds. This time by Jordan Anderson. Shane Taylor Douglas has to get a shot up in a hurry, but it will be a foul committed. Couldn't hear who picked it up, but it might have been Bonnick. So shot clock will reset, and almost another turnover for the Lords as things are getting a bit hectic down on the offensive end, and that will be a turnover for the Lords. Jordan Anderson can get a screen from Ohana and waves it off the other way as he gets the matchup with Hosseini. Bonnick in the corner. 5 seconds left. We'll put up a 3-point shot, and it's good.
Really tough shot. We've seen a lot of good plays tonight from Marcus Bonnick at both ends, really, but especially on the offensive end. Really slick for the Seneca Sting down the line here.
Shane Taylor Douglas driving baseline. Kicks it into the paint for Kashala for the easy finish.
Talked about O'Shane Taylor Douglas and how it hasn't been his night on the points total of only 4, but his assist total now up to 6. He's been really good on that front, making good reads, good passes to his teammates cutting.
Chesterton out to Anderson for 3, and it's an air ball. Taylor Douglas looking to respond on the other end, hits the rim, but no good. We'll stay with the Lords. ball foul. So Shesternan will pick up the foul. It's his first of the night. Hosseini from deep three-point range and off the front of the rim. No good. And even though he's got a few to go here, it still seems like he's putting the shots up, looking to get the rhythm going. A streaky player, Hosseini, and a dangerous pass will end in a turnover. Ohana and Hosseini gets the ball back in transition, and once again, just doing a bit too much.
Made up for a turnover on that good defensive play, stripping the ball, but again, as you mentioned, Sean, just a little bit too much with the ball, a little bit too much pizzazz in his game right now. I think that's what's got him off guard.
And that's Hosseini's game. That's always the gimmick with him, right?
Yeah.
He's such a streaky and powerful scorer when he's going, and when he's not, he wants to get back to being that powerful scorer, three-level scorer.
Some things just go your way. Some nights they just don't. That's the way it's been for Hosseini tonight, and we've seen that last game, particularly with Angelo Sarsonis, only at 15 points last game, on pace to break that record tonight with 10.
Simon drives in, off glass, no good, and it'll be Mighty to come away with it.
Now we see the Sting getting some stops defensively, and we'll see if they can chip their way back into
Ohana
this game.
for three! And
Like that.
The Sting's leading scorer finally finds his way onto the board.
Dangerous player off the bench is Jake Ohana. 20 points his last game coming off the bench, and he's been a big weapon and a big-time contributor off the bench for Seneca.
A three-point shot in return from Hosseini and a step-back three. I don't know how that's a good finish on the other end. There's almost no reaction from Desmond Rowley to that Hosseini step-back three. I would have been losing my mind.
All of a sudden, the Lords losing their offensive touch here in this third quarter, just 5.
Three-point shot from Taylor Douglas, no good. We'll see Mabanza come on when we get a chance. Ohana drives on Simon. Kashala, circus shot, and Kashala with the rebound. Simon working in transition. Gets the ball poked loose, and Mighty, I believe, committed a foul.
Jim McNeely not happy about it on the Seneca bench, or at least somebody isn't.
So Mabanza will come in, and Kashala will head off. Simon shooting 2. So Hosseini getting a lot of leeway to shoot through his struggles right now. 1 of 6 on the night. 0 of 3 from three-point land. Perfect from the line, though. 5 points, 5 rebounds. And it's a good 2-point shot from Jabril Morgan.
Tough break for the Lords. They had that ball in possession, but it bounced right back to Morgan on the ricochet, and he was able to lay it up and in, tie this game back up.
40 apiece. 4 minutes left here in the third. Hosseini steps back out to the three-point line, rips the ball away. Shot clock winding down. Sarsonis, ball hits rim, so it'll be a shot clock reset. Lords don't have to hurry. Will end up doing so and turns it over.
It was a good follow-up by Mabanza, able to find Sarsonis, but couldn't quite finish.
Mighty at the three-point line. I mentioned earlier, part of the USA squad that went to the OSBA finals before falling to Leonard Miller and Ohana picking up the foul. Leonard Miller and the Fort Erie Academy. Miller off to play with the G League Ignite this season, alongside Scoop. And Mighty's brother, Armani, he's headed to Boston College to play in the NCAA this season as well. So
something to note for Adam Hosseini, already sitting on 3 fouls, leading the Lords tonight in that category. Got to be careful down the stretch here.
And it'll probably be the end of Hosseini here in the third. Picking up the second. And the crowd interaction throws Ohana off his game on the final free throw. Sarsonis snakes to the rim past 3 players.
Lords needed that big time.
42.
Just their 9th point, Sean, of the third quarter. They lost their offensive touch a little bit, but
it's not Mighty's game. Lining up the 3, but the putback is good from Green. Back to a 2-point lead for Seneca. Taylor Douglas out to Barton for 3. No good. Barton tracks down the rebound, gets tied up, rips it away, and Taylor Douglas will pick up a foul.
It was like a shooting foul because that was the 5th team foul for the Seneca Sting of this quarter.
Yep. So the rest of the way will be automatic free throws for the next 2 minutes and 48 seconds of the third quarter. As we saw in the women's game, this can be a huge contributor to building a lead.
Little Shane Taylor Douglas misses the first one, though.
Elijah Green. Ohana getting some more burn here in the second half. Shakes Sarsonis. A mid-range jumper, no good, but a good look to get him there. Ohana pushed out baseline, and he steps out. So Ohana with 5 points, all 5 coming here in the second quarter, or second half, I should say. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the third quarter. Lords trail by 4. Certainly becoming a defensive battle, not the offensive output that you would normally see. Sarsonis puts the moves on, isn't able to get the finish. Barton D's up on Ohana, finds his way through, and make it 7 points on the night for Jake Ohana. Simon, and then just bully ball, picks up 2 points. Ohana passes out of a 3-point shot attempt. A dribble handoff. Thomas gets in, and it's a 3-point play opportunity, and things are starting to pick up for the Seneca Sting.
Great drive, I should say, by Thomas, taking it all the way and getting the extra points. And you're right, Sean, things have been really going the way of the Seneca Sting so far in this third quarter. Already up to 18 points compared to Durham's 12, so they've been really able to shut down the Lords so far defensively and be able to get some big points of their own the other way.
Stoop comes in for the Lords, a bit of a defensive substitution. Labanza heads off. For Stoop first possession of the game, tried to bring this house down with a massive slam dunk.
Just came up just a little bit short, unfortunately.
Would have been on the highlight reel for the rest of his life. Taylor Douglas calls off the screen, drives into 4 defenders. Sarsonis for 3, and too strong. Stoops unable to get there. Mighty to pick up the rebound. Cunningham passes it back to Thomas. We're ticking under 30 seconds remaining, and ball heads into Olmoff.
Substitution for Seneca.
Didn't get a touch of the ball tonight after all, didn't he?
Yep. So 45-49. Shot clock still in effect here, about a 6-second difference. Taylor Douglas finds Simon, dumps it in low to Stoop. Out to Barton for 3, and hits the rim, so shot clock will be turned off. Taylor Douglas, 9 seconds remain. Mid-range jumper was off, and an air ball as that won't even be close. That may have been deflected. So the third quarter ends here in Oshawa, 49-45. Ryan.
25.
Flipping the script a little bit is Seneca in that quarter.
Most definitely. Things really went south in a hurry for Durham in that third quarter. 12 points in the start to the back half of this game. And Seneca, give them credit. They were able to make some adjustments, slow down the Lord's offense, and really make life tough for Angelo Sarsonis and Adam Hosseini. Only 2 points in that quarter for Sarsonis, just the struggles are real right now for Adam Hosseini. Just 5 points off from the free throw line. So the Lords just have to find a way to get this offense going and go back to what they did, how they adjusted in the back half of the first half, where they were able to make some big defensive stops, get some points off turnovers, and slow down Seneca's game a little bit. They're getting a little bit confident, the Seneca Sting are, in shooting. They're getting some points themselves. Just 2 good teams going at it, real tight game. We'll see who takes this one in the final quarter.
As we mentioned off the top, each team coming in off a 3-game win streak of their own, and it has been an offensive onslaught for Durham up until this game. A 97-93 win over the George Brown Huskies. 110-100 win in Peterborough. That's an insane scoreline for an OCAA game. And following that up against the Loyalist Lancers, who were game. They were good. 102-93. Currently sitting at 49-45. Stuck 4 points. Interesting position for the Durham Lords.
Yeah, unless we see a spectacular 60-point onslaught in this fourth quarter, I don't think it's going to be possible to see the Durham Lords get to over the 100-point mark in this game for the third consecutive game. But like I said, just 2 good teams battling it out here, and Durham just has to find a way to claw back in it, get the offense going, do what they were doing earlier, find those passes in the paint, and get the buckets that way. If you can't shoot that well, then just going for 2 and going for the rough play in the paint is never a bad thing either.
So the Durham Lords coming back out with the same group. And this will be an interesting time for the Lords, really looking to prove their mettle as a top team in the OCAA East. And these are the types of moments where you come out and you have to find a response. You have 10 minutes to do so.
If anyone has lost the keys, please come up with me to the sports table to go collect the keys. We have found a key over here. If anyone has misplaced it, it's a set of keys. If anyone has misplaced it, please come to the sports table after the game with me. Thank you.
All right. If someone's lost their key, you can claim it at at the front desk if you happen to be watching the stream.
Oh, I got my keys in my pocket, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, I had to do a quick check myself. I'm like, I think I have my keys. Simon will inbound it to Sarsonis as we're underway here in the fourth quarter, a pivotal one for the Lords. So they look to mount a comeback. 4 points might not seem like a lot, but the way things have been going in this game, 4 points is quite a hole.
Especially if you have the offense going like it is right now, unable to find those passes and force a little bit too much. That's led to Seneca's big success here tonight.
Anderson with some fancy ball handling, kicks it out to Jordan. Bonnick for three. No good. Stoop with the rebound. Sarsonis gets the ball back. Taylor Douglas moves in, and the double team comes. Stoop cuts to the basket, is just unable to put it in. Ball saved in. Jordan Anderson heads it out to Bonnick, who drives in. Double team comes. Jordan Anderson, three-point attempt, no good. Sarsonis down on the back end of the play, but he's up. Taylor Douglas gets whacked. No call. And it'll head the other way for Seneca. Unfortunate series of events for Durham on that possession.
Really unfortunate, and again, it all goes back to mismanagement with the ball, and Seneca eating those mistakes up alive, and that's been the key strength, like I said, for them all season long, that defense, and it's been paying off so far for them tonight. So it looks like the Lords are going to get the ball back, though, after a conference here.
You know, you can give the referees as much grief as you want for getting some calls wrong. In situations like that, it was clearly off of a Seneca player, and Desmond Rowley, he rewarded with 2 points for his efforts to argue there.
Yeah, the Lords will take that, most definitely.
And it's always good to see the referees saying, yeah, you know what, we got that one wrong, let's fix that. Cunningham drives in, and a nice little floater.
A little bit of a defensive lapse there by the Lords, and Sting caught that.
Hosseini readying up. Barton can't find a way in. Sarsonis can't find a way in either. Anderson will hand off to Jordan Anderson. Bonnick with an extra pass into the corner, and the three-point shot is short. Elijah Green unable to convert on the attempt. And that one's good, as O'Shane Taylor Douglas, 10 points on the night.
Not exactly the man you'd be expecting to be taking that shot with just sitting on 7 points on the night, but Lords will take that one. That's a big-time shot.
And a turnover. Seneca is starting to lose a bit of their composure, and you can see Jaden Anderson saying, let's calm this down a bit, let's not get too rattled. So still 1 point game, 51-50.
Right, exactly. The last thing you want to do is give a high-powering offense like the Durham Lords any type of life down the stretch in this game so late. Even though the struggles have been on tonight, Durham can pick up on anything, and this offense can wake up in a heartbeat.
Shane Taylor Douglas gets the screen from Mark Stoop. Hosseini cuts out to the three-point line, and Shane Taylor Douglas doesn't see him. Bonnick picks up the foul, and that will be the first team foul
for any team in this quarter.
So Bonnick now with 4 fouls on the night. One more and he's gone.
Yeah, if you're the Lords, you got to take notice of that because Bonnick leading the way with 11 points for the Seneca team. If you want him not producing, there you go.
Stoop takes the lead for Durham, 52-51. So as we talked, it was a 4-point hole that they had to climb out of. Successfully, they've done so. Now they have to find their way through the last 6 minutes of this game to the win. An air ball on the other end of things. It would be I believe that was out off of Simon.
And if you're the Lord's defense, you sure have to pick up on this. The offense is coming to life here a little bit, so you need some big stops from the defense down the stretch here.
Foul called on Lords number 55, Adam Hosseini.
Adam Hosseini picks up his 4th. He's gone for the time being. We'll come back in towards the end of the game.
Of course, remember, one more foul for both Hosseini and Bonnick, and they're both gone.
Sarsonis for 3. Not meant to be. And cleaning it up on the other end is Simon.
Would you call that a pass from Sarsonis instead?
I don't know if I'd credit him with that. I think that's a missed 3 through and through, but I like the idea.
Good block.
Yeah, and some good teamwork to bat that out. And there's the jam that we were looking for earlier in the game. Stoop.
I'm sure he was looking for that one as well, but again, all starts from defense to offense. The Lords did a great job of that in the first half. Didn't see it a lot in the third, but here in the fourth, O'Shane Taylor-Douglas with a perfect defensive read and a perfect pass.
And all of a sudden, this Durham Lords offense has all the momentum in the world, and they're running downhill. (56-51). 5:25 here in the final quarter of the night, and it has been an 11-2 run this quarter.
Yeah, I've mentioned how many times before this Seneca Sting offense isn't their game, it's more of their defense, and Lord's finding a way to shut this offense down so far in this fourth.
And you can hear the women's basketball team starting to get involved with their noisemakers.
That's what you want. You want the crowd involved any way you can.
Yep. Sarsonis. From mid-range Jimmy, and it's pure. 13-2 run. As things are starting to mount in favor of Durham down the stretch. Jaden Anderson, no good. Some great defense from Simon. Sarsonis. Simon for 3. And off the side of the rim, Ohana with the rebound. Jaden Anderson. No call, a lot of contact. Taylor Douglas running in the fast break off the glass, no good. Stoops almost there to put it back, and Ohana comes away with it once again on the back end of things. Anderson for 3, in and out, and Black with the rebound. This time Jordan Anderson with the 3-point attempt, and Seneca suddenly feeling a little desperate. Sarsonis tips the ball forward to himself. Barton, a bit of a circus shot, gets the rebound and picks up the bump, and will head to the line.
Foul called on Seneca. It's number 13, Daniel Shesher. That's the second of the game.
So Jordan Anderson, who started pretty hot in this game, has cooled off mightily with 9 points and shooting 3 of 10 from deep. Like I said, things are starting to feel a bit tight for Seneca, and they're looking for the home run hits when I don't feel like they need to just yet.
No, I mean, things have gone south in a hurry here for the Seneca Sting in this fourth quarter. Only 2 points. And things just not going their way. The Lord's really tightening up, doing a good job.
14-2 run in progress here in Oshawa. Anderson with the pick and roll, and another bout of great defense from Simon. Barton and Ahana is there to break it up.
Defense the other way. Good read by Ohana. Reading that pass and taking it away. Gonna get a timeout on the floor here.
Yeah, timeout coming from the Seneca Sting, and they absolutely need it. A 15-2 run here in the fourth quarter, where it was absolutely imperative that Durham needed to find 4 points. Here they are with 15. So just flipping the game on its head. Angelo Sarsonis with 14 points. Kansky Simon just 2 rebounds shy of a double-double. And O'Shane Taylor Douglas, 2 rebounds and 2 assists shy of a triple-double.
Having himself a night.
And it's interesting because if you look at the field goal, right, 4 of 17 really hasn't had the greatest offensive production that he's had this season. Of course, he had a really steady game last game. And tonight, like I said earlier, finding ways to contribute even when the shot isn't solid. And that 3-point shot that he made earlier was one of the shots that really kick-started this run as well.
Right, a little kick-starter. That's what a team needs whenever they want to get their offense going. And sure enough, 15 points on the board for the Lords in this quarter. Doing a great job on the offensive side and great job on the defensive side as well. Defense really getting going, getting the Sting to miss some shots, and all of a sudden the Lords have taken control of this game with 3:19 left.
And shout out to Isaiah Barton as well, too. 6 points, 7 rebounds. Maybe a bit out of range of the double-double watch with 3 minutes remaining, but you never know. Sarsonis finds himself wide open and hits rim no good.
Could have been a dagger there. Sarsonis would have hit that one.
Ahana drives in. Barton swats it away.
There's that defense again. Getting behind everything.
Barton calling for it out on the 3-point line, and it's a foul picked up as Taylor Douglas heads in. Elijah Green will pick up the foul, his second of the evening.
Jersey number 2, O'Shane Taylor Douglas. Shooting 2, 4 balls.
So once again, Bonnick sitting with 4 fouls right now. And down to the last 3 minutes of this game on the Lord's side of things. Hosseini also sitting with 4 fouls. I'm not sure we're going to see him again tonight, the way this lineup's been playing.
Oh, who knows? Could be because of the fouls, could be because of the performance, but
And the lid is just solidly on the basket for Seneca right now as Barton swats away another one. Taylor Douglas. The ball will find its way out to Barton for 3. You earned it, kid, and isn't able to convert it.
Well, you mentioned earlier, Sean, just the lid on top of the rim in this fourth quarter for the Seneca Sting. It was a good read at first by Bonnick to find his man, but he couldn't bury it.
Seneca taking another timeout here. And in quick order from their last one, so whatever was said in the huddle has not sunken in.
Not at all.
16-2 run, and Barton is just cleaning up the boards and swatting everything away. I don't think we have an official stat count for blocks on our stat feed here, but he has at least 3 of them on the game, with 6 points and 7 rebounds to go along with it.
Lords have gotten that great defense tonight, and we expected it to be a tight defensive. We didn't expect it to be a tight defensive matchup, I should say, more on the offensive side. Lords getting shut down a little bit offensively, but you know what? They've had the defense to counter with Seneca's as well, and that's ultimately been the difference in this fourth quarter, is that defense, that tight defense.
Absolutely. And we mentioned it in the last game, but this is in the middle of an extended homestand. It'll be The Algonquin Wolves after this on the 25th, and the Lecite Coyotes on the 26th.
Wolves will get some more time off after tonight. Next game will be in 10 days, actually.
Yep. And then the final game of the season for the winter break, I should say, is the St. Louis Surge in Kingston. And another block. This time it's O'Shane Taylor Douglas.
Big contributor defensively tonight, O'Shane Taylor Douglas.
Anderson. It's out to Hana for three, and finally Seneca finds something.
They needed that in the biggest way. Now you need a big stop here. Go on a little run of your own late in this quarter.
61-54 definitely is not over at all. Taylor Douglas pulls it back out, drives mid-range, and rattles around the rim. Ends up in the hands of Mighty. Stoop. Well, I don't think that was quite a block. I think it was off of the rim. Stoop was there to bother the shot either way. Taylor Douglas. Minute 30 left. Using the Stoop screen, pulls up, foot on the line. Foul called on Simon. The thing I like about this lineup for the Lords is really defensively focused as well as they are athletic. A lot of block shots and a lot of defensive pressure being applied to Seneca right now.
And you can give Taylor Douglas and Isaiah Barton a lot of credit for that tonight.
Yeah.
Big blocks, big time defensive plays from both of them.
Mark Stoop coming in off the bench as well. A huge slam dunk, a block, and some solid defense. And look at that, pushed all the way out to the logo. Sarsonis pulling his weight as well. 45 seconds left in the game. Taylor Douglas pounding the rock. Sarsonis. In the Stoop from the mid-range, no good. Simon with the putback, and that is about it.
Kasky Simon sitting on 13. Oh, maybe not.
Honeck.
Maybe that's not it.
Coming in with a three-point bomb. And Seneca need to foul, and quickly, as the Lords get it over half, and the time was going to run out as Seneca closes out the game in unspectacular fashion, but what a turnaround for the Durham Lords, who dug deep in the fourth quarter to mount a comeback and take a 63-57 lead in a tough game here in Oshawa, Ryan.
Yeah, as we mentioned, and as we saw, Sean, start definitely wasn't pretty. Down 8-0 in the first 4 minutes or so, but the Lords came back with some spectacular defense of their own, boxing out their men, getting some big stops in the paint. And sure enough, the offense kicked into gear here in the fourth quarter, scoring 18 points compared to Seneca's 8, and ultimately